going on, guys? This is Nate from the Scrub Academy welcoming you to another deck profile here on the channel. Today I'm profiling my Sky Striker Fluffal Deck, and hopefully you will enjoy it as much as I do enjoy playing it. We're going to go ahead and jump right into this deck, and I'll explain a few things as we go along. So, first card of the deck is a 3 of. We're playing 3 Fluffal Dog. Now, Fluffal Dog is the main searcher of the deck, allows you to add anything that you need that's Fluffal related or Edge Imp Sabers. Allows you just to add anything you need from your deck to your hand that you need to get your engine going. A lot of times you're adding either penguin, wings, bear, anything like that to your hand. If you do need to, you can add sabers. You really shouldn't need to add sabers anymore with Fluffal Dog, just because we do have patchwork. But if you need to, you do have the option of doing so. Moving on, we are playing 2 Penguin. Penguin's a really good card in this deck. Not only does it allow you to draw 2, discard 1, which can also help boost more plays depending on what you have in your hand to discard, whether it be a chain or a toy vendor. But it also allows you to chain block your opponent, because you can use your tiger, and you can use this as a fusion material for tiger. Summon tiger, chainlink 1 tiger, chainlink 2 your penguin. That way they can't strike it or anything like that. They have to respond to the penguin and not the tiger. So really good card. It's a 2 of. Allows you to special summon from hand as well, depending on what you have going on in your hand, or if you need to get something else to the field. Next up we have Fluffal Bear. Now, Fluffal Bear is an amazing card as well. Allows you to discard to add to set toy vendor from your deck to the field. Gets around Ash, so that's pretty good. A lot of people don't realize that it just sets it and doesn't actually add it to hand. And toy vendor is obviously one of the key components of the deck, so being able to have a card that you can just discard and set it immediately from the deck to the field is really busted. Next up, we're playing 2 Fluffal Wings. Playing 2 Fluffal Bear, have to play 2 Fluffal Wings. You don't need more than 2. You can get cloggy with more than that. You can open up more than 1 or 2 in your hand. You don't really want that at all. If you see more than 1 in your hand, you're kind of in a lot of trouble, because that just takes up space that you can have for other cards. If you don't know what it does, you can banish this along with another Fluffal, usually your bear if you have that, to draw a card. Then you send your toy vendor to the grave to draw a card, and then you get toy vendor's effect to search. So pretty busted. And then we're playing 2 1-ofs here. We're playing Cat and Owl. This deck is fusion oriented. That's pretty much all it does, besides maybe a few links depending on what you have going on in the field. So you do go through your polys really fast. So with that, you have your cat that can add your poly back to your hand, and you have your owl, which can actually either act as a poly by paying life points, or it can add a poly to your hand. So in case you don't open a poly, or you don't open a patchwork to search a poly, you do have your owl. That is all the Fluffals in the deck. Moving on, we're playing 3 Edge Imp Chain. Notably the best Edge Imp card in the deck now. Sabers, not so much. Yes, it can bring out Tiger and it can blow things up, but Chain allows you to search cards like Fright for Patchwork, and we all know how important Fright for Patchwork is to the deck. Just adds to the consistency crazily, and just gets you going quite a bit. And then you are playing the 1 Edge Imp Sabers. You don't need to play more than 1. If you play more than 1, you're doing it wrong. Alright, so that is it for most of the cards that are monsters. We do play a few hand traps. Because we are going second, we want to be able to stop our opponent from going off, crazily going first, and building a board that we can't break. This deck is all about breaking boards and getting through and then OTKing. If they make a board too big, we're not doing too hot. So if they U-link you or they do anything like that, they can possibly hurt you a lot. You can't really come back from that. So we are playing a couple of hand traps. Those playing Ash Blossom, Effect Veiler, and then 2 Infinite Impermanence. We do side into other hand traps as well, like Drow and Lockbird and Ghost Ogre, but I just felt like these are the cards that we really want to see that can definitely hinder our opponent and stop them in their tracks. So we're playing those 6 hand traps. And then we are playing the Sky Striker engine, like I said before. Really good engine, allows you to get everything going. With the engage searches, you can pop things, you can take control of things, you can make your tokens and whatnot. So you play the 3 engage, the 1 you will play the 1 Widow Anchor, the 1 Afterburners, and then the 1 Hornet Drones. Really good engine. This deck goes through a lot of spells, so you get some draws, you get some taking of your opponent's cards with the Widow Anchor, and then you can blow up a lot of things with your Afterburners, and then obviously Hornet Drones, because you can go straight into your token to Kagari, add a Hornet Drones back, and then you go into a Link 2, because this deck was really hurting without a Link, so now that we're able to do that, it works out really well. Speaking of how good cards are that we need to play 3 of, we are playing 3 Toy Vendor. Toy Vendor gets everything going with the deck, allows your wings play to start drawing and adding cards. You can Foolish Burial Goods this, you can ditch this off of Unicorn. You can toy vendor off a toy vendor, pretty busted. It can make bad hands really good depending on what you can either draw into off your toy vendor draw or what you can add with toy vendor. So definitely a 3 of, definitely always want to play 3. And it's not that bad if you open up 2 of them in your hand. Next up, we're playing 3 Polymerization. You do go through this quite a bit, so that's why you do need the owl or the cat just to add things back or to use as poly. Just because if you don't, then who knows what can happen. So you're playing 3 poly, and then we're playing 2 Fright for Patchwork. 3 was really cloggy in my opinion. You can only use it once per turn. So having 3 wasn't as good as what I thought it would be or could be. So we're just playing the 2. You can add this off of Chain, and Chain can add this off of itself. So it's really good card depending on what you want to do with it. Very versatile. And then you are playing 1 Fright for Factory and 1 Fright for Fusion. Those are also cards you can add off of your Chain. And then finishing it off for the Fusion cards, we're playing 1 Invocation because we do play Alistair, the Invoker of Madness. So you can add this off of him. And then you can make things like Mechaba and stuff like that. So pretty good card. Finishing up, we're playing 2 Called by the Grave and 2 Foolish Burial Goods. This deck is 42 cards. I was trying to find something that I could cut for the Called by the Graves. They were in the side deck and I decided to main them. And I just could not find anything in the world to take out of this deck that would not hurt the consistency. So I ended up just playing 42 cards. The deck, searches and draws and searches and draws and searches and draws so much that having 42 cards in the deck isn't a problem at all. Depending on what you open up in your hand and you start going off, you can get through 3/4 of the deck without even finishing turn 1. So, yeah. Alright, so that is the main deck. Like I said, it's 42 cards. Moving on to the extra deck, we are playing the 1 Kagari, and then 2 Link 2s. We're playing the Alistair, the Invoker of Madness, and Lanfarincus. Both very good and both very needed in the deck. You usually go with the Alistair, the Invoker of Madness, just because it does have more attack and you can add the Invocation. But if you don't have 2 monsters with different types or attributes, you can't really do that play. So if you don't have like the Horned Drones in hand or anything like that, you can go for the Lanfarincus, and it also acts as a Link 2 for us. So pretty good card. Moving on to the Link 3, we have Nightmare Unicorn. Just a way to build up through your links, and it also is really good removal depending on what they have. If you can't destroy it by battle or by card effect, you can just shuffle it back. It also helps that you can get your Alistair. You'd add your invocation off that, and you'd end up linking off into your Nightmare Unicorn. And then later on in your play, since you already have the invocation, you can banish this on a light, depending on what your opponent did during their turn, to make your Mechaba. So just a good way to get that to grave. And then finishing it up for the links, we have YuGiOh Skull Dread. This card wasn't being played for quite a while, but then I realized how good the draws are for this, as well as just being able to special from hand. So you can special your dog, special your owl, special your penguin, whatever, and then like get more plays going for that. So it just helps build on to whatever you're trying to do. And it also has the 3 link, the arrows. So pretty good. All right, moving on to the Fright Furs. We are playing 2 Tiger. You don't need more than 2. Pretty busted card. You can pop things. Use Penguin, use Cat to link to chain block, then they can't stop it from happening. You play 2 Kraken. A lot of people don't realize this card can attack twice, and they also don't realize that even if like you use its effect to send a card to grave, if you fuse with it for your Sabertooth, which we are playing 3 of, and you bring back your Kraken, it can then attack twice. So I actually had a judge called on me this past weekend at a regional because they didn't realize that even though it says this card can't attack directly this turn, if it's coming back off of Sabertooth, it can attack directly. Then we're finishing it up with the Fright for Wolf and Fright for Sheep. 1 each. You shouldn't need more than 1 of each of those. And then last card in the deck is a Invoked Mechaba. This card I don't see as often as I wish I could, honestly, just for the negates, because a lot of times I'm using all the cards in my hand anyway, and so I don't have anything I can use to negate anyway. But it is a pretty good card, and if we need to, we can use things out of our opponent's extra deck. So that is the entire deck. 42 cards in the main, 15 in extra. Side I won't get into. Only thing that really is really big out of there is going to be your Ogres. You're also playing, let's see here, we got Red Reboots. I'm playing the Hanawadas to stop the FTKs, Twin Twisters, Book of Eclipse for the Thunder Dragons, Forbidden Apocrypha, really good card against the Thunder Dragons as well, Ghost Ogres, and Droll and Lockbirds. So pretty good cards. I guess I did just go through it for you, but yeah, that's the deck. That's the main deck, extra deck, side deck, whatever. Comments, questions, concerns, leave them down in the comment section below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, because all your support is greatly appreciated. Stay tuned for later this week. On Wednesday, I'm going to be doing test hands for this deck for you guys. And then on Friday, there's going to be a live duel from locals going up on the channel as well, just to kind of showcase what this deck can do against another deck instead of just test hands. So if they have anything that can stop it and whatnot, try and play around boards, whatever. Each week from now on, we are going to be doing a deck profile Monday. Wednesday, we're going to be doing either a combo video or a test hand video. And then on Friday, we're going to have that live duel. And then some more videos in between. So hopefully we can get a lot more content up for you guys. I do have a few more people coming onto the channel to help me out with that, just because I can't do it all by myself. So stay tuned for a couple new faces, a couple old faces, and we will be back as soon as we can. But thank you guys again. As always, this is Nate from the Scrub Academy, signing out for now. Peace out.